Hello and welcome back for episode number 5, which is the final episode of the Pentagon Challenge. We're now in the South American leg of the challenge. As we can see here, we've left Roma to join Vasco da Gama. They're currently sitting 14th in the league, but they have won 4 of their last 5 games, so they are in good form. So let's get cracking on, have a look and see in a little bit more detail how they're doing, and have a look at the squad. So we take a look first of all just at the league table, currently sitting in 14th place on 17 points. Anything from 1st to 7th qualifies for the Copa Libertadores. So we're currently sitting 8 points off of that. We do have a little bit of a gap to the relegation zone at the moment, but Santos do have some games in hand. Apologies, I don't have the name fix on for Brazil. So SPO, who they'll be known as for now, are currently 5 points ahead of us. They were a side that also had a job available, but I think we've got a little bit more potential with Vasco da Gama. And we can see Flamengo do have 6 games in hand on just about everyone in the league due to the Club World Championships. But we're not in bad shape. I think with continuing the good form the side's currently in, we do have a chance of climbing the table. Over now to the club finances. So currently have just under 16 million in the overall balance. Transfer budget of 3 million. We are retaining 90% of transfers that go out. And we do have a little bit of room in the wage budget and a full scouting budget as well, so we can scout all corners. Onto tactics. So from this side of things, we're really looking how the squad is. The 4-3-2-1 really looks good for us, with 2 at the back and the 2 wing backs, 1 supporting and 1 on attacking duty to get further forward and support the inverted winger. We've got the 2 defensive midfielders, 1 sitting a little bit deeper and the other playing the segundo volante role, who will bomb forward for us. And we do have a defensive winger, which is kind of a role I don't use too often, but I think we need to be a little bit more solid. The attacking midfielder should enter both channels, and the inverted winger should also cut in and support as well, with the advanced forward up top. Will we play in a cautious mentality, just because it has been working for us previously, and focusing the play down the wings as well, with the overlaps on the left and the right, just due to the fact that we are playing wing backs. Also looking to do the counter press as well. So really gegen press tactic again, with higher defensive lines and higher press as well forward. So in terms of the squad, there's only really one position that we're struggling with, and it's right back, so that's where we'll be looking to improve first of all. The rest of the squad looks okay. So we've now played through to the 3rd of September, which is the transfer deadline in Brazil. So just welcome in some of the new players that's came into the squad. We'll start off from the 10th of July, we brought in Rami Mani, who is a right back who's Tunisian with Brazilian second nationality. His physical attributes are going to be the telling thing. Anyone that's played this game before knows physical attributes are king. Eden Skrijelos comes in as a defensive midfielder, just really to bolster the numbers in the squad. So they've come in free. Olusegun comes in a free, who's a really good goalkeeper. Does count as a foreign player, however, which isn't great. Filip Simicek comes in. The Czech Republic central defender looks pretty good. He should be challenging. Sam Gonçalves comes in from Chelsea for quite a cheap fee. He actually looks like a better goalkeeper. 275,000. Brian Veliz comes in as a central midfielder for us. He looks very good. Chilean, so he does also count as foreign, but he comes in for just under 1 million. And Eddie Nielsen comes in a free transfer. Can't currently play him though, because he's played some games already this season. There is a rule in Brazil that prevents that. In terms of the players out, Lucas Moulay, who was our goalkeeper, just feel like we've had better options for him now for 2.3, and GB leaves as well. Again, just didn't feel we're going to give him much game time, so he leaves for 200k. Marcelo Ryan left, who's another striker that we had in. Again, wasn't going to get game time for 1.2 million, and that's really apart from Luca Orellano, who left, but again he wasn't going to be a starter either. So again, looking at the tactics, I've made a slight change. I've pulled back the inverted winger to a defensive winger and put the segundo volante forward into the central midfield and attack role. It felt like it wasn't really working for us with the inverted winger further forward. I've also changed the wing back to an inverted wing back so that it can provide a little bit of cover in the defensive midfield area, and it seems to have been helping us a little bit recently. So if I have a look at the schedule, when we came in, we lost against Fluminense, but since then we've gone on a little bit of a run. and the Copa Sudamericana we got to the second round and got through against Santos, but then we did lose in the quarter-final, quite disappointingly, but we went on a little bit of a bad run at that stage and we have been drawing a few games, but currently not in the worst of shape. There's still plenty of games left for the season, but we're looking really strong defensively now since we've changed the formation. And as we can see, we've got quite a lot of games still to play. Looking at the league table, we've managed to climb up to 8th place. I said it's extremely tight. We're only actually 9 points off of the top with a game in hand. Very tight division. Flamengo still have an absurd amount of games in hand over everyone. I'm not sure when they're going to get to play them, but I would expect them to climb the table, such as the quality of them. They're probably the best side in the league. So yeah, we're looking pretty good. So we played through to the 28th of November. The season's now ended. And when we left off, it was the 2nd of September. So we followed that up with a home draw with Flamengo, which was a good result. And then we only lost 3 more games towards the end of the season, winning quite a lot of them along the way. And we look to have quite a solid defensive shape. So we'll see how that's helped us in our quest to qualify for the Copa Libertadores. Looking at the league table, we can see that we have managed to climb our way up to 4th place to finish the season, which does mean we qualify for the Copa Libertadores next season. We did have a good run towards the end of it, but we've seen earlier the league was very tight, so it didn't take a great deal of form actually to climb into the top 7. Flamengo did go on to win with all those games in hand. They are by far the strongest side in the league, so we'll be looking to jump ship there if we can. So we take a look at the club finances just going into the next season. We've got 13 million in the bank and just over 10 million for our transfer budget this season. And we do have quite a lot of surplus in the wage budget, so that's pretty good. Scouting budget's not as good as it was last time, but we'll see if we can improve on that. Looking at squad performance, see where we can possibly improve this season. So we've got it sorted just now for average ratings. Rafael Henrique is a youngster. He didn't play that many games, so I'm going to exclude him from being our best player. But Senior Henrique looks to be our best player this season. Mane came in for us and done a really good job at right back. A couple of players as well further down here doing well. In terms of goals, Henrique was our top scorer with 16, but he plays on the wing. The 2 strikers that kind of rotate didn't perform too well, so I might be looking to improve on them in the transfer window. In terms of assists, Cowan Barros, who plays kind of defensive midfield, and Fijal, who's our attacking midfielder but is wanted by Villa, were our better players. So we'll see where we go from here. We now have the draw-in for the Copa Libertadores group stage, so we'll have a look at our group. We've been drawn in Group C with River Plate of Argentina, Cerro Porteño of Paraguay and Barcelona of Ecuador. I'm not going to lie, I don't know a great deal about a lot of these sides from South America. I do know River Plate are a good side, so they're probably going to be our main challengers, but I expect that we can qualify at least in second place, if not as the winner. So now through the 8th of March, transfer deadline's passed. We've got a lot of business to catch up on here. So made 7 million in transfers out and we've spent 17.25. So I'll just go back to show you anything that we've missed previously. Nothing from there. We've seen Eddie Nielsen already, I think. But yeah, he'll be able to play for us this season. So Adson left us. He's not really been getting any game times away in a free, but we did sell Lucas Piton to Al Rayyan. He was a decent left back for us, but he is getting on a little bit, so we wanted to cash in on him. So we got 2.4 million in for him. And in terms of anyone else, it was kind of worthwhile mentioning. We've got Matias Galarza, who's gone to Beijing for 7.75 million. Was a decent midfielder for us, but again, didn't feel that we were going to play him too much this season. Mateus Ferreira has left to go to Sep. Again, apologies, I don't have the names on. 7.5 million. Fellini's left as well. Go to CAA. He was poor for his last season. Lutiger leaves for 1.5 million. He goes to FOR. And Ray Domenech, who was a defensive midfielder, again, wasn't going to get too much game time for us this season and was a foreign player. The rest of the outs are all kind of mainly loan players, most of our youngsters, but let's have a look at the ins. We've got Vinicius Rangel comes in on a free transfer. Looks a very good left back for us and should probably be our starting left back. Gabriel Carvalho really just provides a little bit of depth in attacking midfield and maybe in the right wing position. Ruan will provide some depth as well. Attacking midfield, probably defensive winger as well. He does have some good stats for that, as much as he currently can't play there just now. I think we can train him there and they can do a good job for us. Afonso Spindula comes in, again Brazilian. He can play really either of the midfield slots or the left wing position, so provides good depth for us. He does have pretty good statistics for the defensive winger role, and he started off well too, so I'm happy with his signing. We bring in Igor for 5 million from, I think it's Atlético Mineiro. He's a really good right back. I'm quite happy with him. He's going to be our main right back this season, and he's got 3-star current ability and can improve as well, and he is Brazilian, so we don't have to worry about the foreign part of it. Julio Cedeno comes in up front, looks an improvement in the strikers that we had previously. He's got 7 goals in 5 games in the state championship so far. He looks solid physically, good off the ball, good composure, good anticipation, good first touch and finishing. As a foreigner, but I think we can let him off with that. Jair comes in. He's a very good looking centre back. He's 6'6" as well, so will help in terms of corners, be a threat from that side of things, and he is Brazilian. Again, he started off well. He did cost us 6.5 million. Perales comes in up front, actually looks a slightly better striker than the previous one we've seen, so he's probably going to be a main starter. Again, good physically, really good mentally, and good technically as well. 7 goals in 5 games as well, so both of our strikers are firing. He does have a little bit of room to improve his form, unfortunately. So 1.3 million, we brought in Caetano Mendes. Again, he can play both central midfield roles and the defensive wing role on the left. Just looking at the kind of stats for him, what's important for that role, he's probably going to be our main option out there now. Looks a very good player, and he is Brazilian as well, and he started off the season in pretty good form for us. Jorge Enrique joins for 4.5 million. Mexican, so he is foreign, but does look a very good centre back. He provides a lot of competition in that position for us, so he'll either be a starter or a squad player for us, but he has all the right attributes to be a really good centre back for us. And the last signing was Kike Silva. Again, looks a very good striker. I was surprised to see him in a free transfer, particularly because he is Brazilian, but he does have good physical attributes, good mental attributes for a striker, and good technical attributes as well. On to the tactic side of things, we're going to be sticking with the same sort of tactic that we ran last season. Feijão, again, I've had to make a promise that we will sell him if we get a bid of 18.25 million. Fortunately, that hasn't come in yet, but he is probably our best player. He'll be playing in there ahead of Ayrton. We do have a backup tactic in case we do lose him. We do have 3 really good strikers now, so I think if we can push the attacking mid into the pressing forward role, it could potentially be fruitful for us going forward, but we will be sticking with this tactic initially unless we lose Feijão. Just also to catch up on team performance after the transfers and the tactic update, we've been playing in the Rio State Championship, which is played pretty much pre-season before the regular season starts. You can see we've been in great form, scoring plenty of goals, so the squad seems to be coming together. We did win our first Copa Libertadores game quite comfortably, 5-0. Perales has got 4 goals in that game, so he's proven to be a good signing for us. Yeah, currently the form's looking really good. We've got River Plate up next, but I'll show you the state championship just now. We're currently sitting top of the table. We have qualified for the semi-finals, but yeah, we haven't lost a single game yet, and both of our strikers are performing exceptionally well for us so far. And just following up on that, show you the performance of the squad at the moment. So we can see then in terms of goals, we've got 11 and 6 starts for Perales and 7 and 5 starts for Cedeno. Now, both of them are basically competing over the 1 striker slot, so they're competing very strongly against each other. Feijão's had a tremendous start to the season with 4 goals and 3 assists and 5 starts and 5 sub appearances. And Henrique has been exceptional as well for us so far. 4 goals and 7 assists and 6 starts with 4 sub appearances. Jair's doing quite well. Henrique is unfortunately wanted, so hopefully we can keep hold of him. In terms of average rating, pretty much the full squad's kicking over a 7 average rating at the moment, so I can't really complain about how they're performing. They're absolutely smashing it for us. In terms of the team dynamics, the club atmosphere is pretty good, so is the cohesion and so is the manager support. We've just got a couple of players that are a little bit unhappy at the moment, but Gabriel's a goalkeeper that we don't play, so I'm not too fussed about him. Feijão we want to keep, and Simacek I don't mind leaving because we've got better centre backs than him now, so we'll see how that one turns out. And just lastly, we'll check in on the club's finances, see what sort of position we're in. So we've got £33.5 million now in the overall balance. We've still got just under 10 million in the transfer budget, and we've still got a lot of room in the wage budget as well. We're just really struggling to spend it on quality at the moment. In terms of transfers, we can see there the wage budget available is £123,000 per week. So we made it to the Brazil State Championship final in the first leg. Away to Flamengo, finished 1-0 with Perales getting the goal. On to the second leg, which is also played at the Maracana, by the way. Both legs are meant to be neutral venue. Maracana is a home ground of Flamengo, but we opened the scoring in the 25th minute from Mendes. We move on to the 36th minute. We managed to cut Flamengo open again here down the left, and Feijão doubles the lead and makes it 3-0 in aggregate. Still in the first half, into the 40th minute, Flamengo come forward and Leandro puts one past Gonçalves. Don't think there's any way he was saving that one. And then into the second half, in the 54th minute, we break down the left again. Velez plays it to Mendes, who slots it home. Game finishes 3-1, 4-1 in aggregate, and we win the state championship. I just wanted to show this result, which was in between the two legs of the Flamengo State Championship final. It was a game against Barcelona from Ecuador, I believe. And when I said I didn't know how good or how bad the South American teams were, it appears that the Ecuador teams aren't really great. This was away from home, and we came away with a 10-0 win. So hopefully we can draw some other teams like that in the knockout rounds if we get there. But yeah, I was very happy with that result and just thought I would share it. Something else I thought I would show as well that I forgot to show earlier in the video is just basically our media prediction for the start of the season. So we're predicted to finish 8th place at 18-1, so we're a little bit off the favourites up the top there, but I think we're in decent enough shape, you know, that we can challenge this season. We do have one player in the Dream 11 in Feijão, but we did see that he was wanted, but hopefully he stays and we can kick on and overachieve this season. The Copa Libertadores group stage has now came to a close, and we can see that we've managed to win the group. We won 5 games and we lost 1, scoring 21 and conceding 4. We did lose to River Plate away from home, but we did manage to get a revenge at home, so it puts us through top of the group pretty comfortably in the end up and on to the next round. So we've had the draw for the first knockout round. We've been drawn away from home in the first leg against Universidad Católica in the Copa Libertadores. Managed to avoid the Brazilian sides, but you can see here just now pretty much half of the draws got Brazilian sides lettered in it, and the rest is kind of Argentina. So it's going to be tough, but I think we've got a decent draw at this stage, and we'll see how we get on in the first leg. So first leg in Chile, and in the 40th minute, Universidad are coming forward. Aravena hits a shot, it comes off the post and comes out luckily to Llanos, 1-0 Católica. And on to the second leg. We break down the left with Velez in the 32nd minute. Swings it in, and Henrique opens the scoring for us to bring us level 1-1 on aggregate. Into the 88th minute, still level in aggregate. Igor comes down the right, swings it in, and it drops down for Spindula to put us 2-1 up on aggregate. Coming into the 90th minute, Perales breaks away, down the left again, swings it across, and it's turned in by Ayrton playing in the attacking midfield role to put us 3-0 up on the evening. And in the 94th minute, Católica made us sweat a little bit, swinging the ball in and bringing it back to 3-1. Game ends though 3-1 and 3-2 in aggregate, so we do progress. Into the quarter-final stage now, first leg's away from home against, I believe it's Botafogo. They open us up early on in the very first minute to open the scoring, give them a 1-0 lead unfortunately. But we hit straight back in the 4th minute, recycling a corner, Fruan playing it out to Eddie Nielsen, who scores a screamer from distance. So nice levelling up quickly there. 76th minute, we swing a corner in and Jair puts it home for us. And the game finished 2-1 from there on. So it's now the 4th of September, transfer window's closed for the summer window. Can have a wee look and see who has left the club throughout this window just now. So we've seen Gallardo was the last one to leave previously. So Matteo Ponte's left for Penarol. It's a decent right back for us, but he wasn't getting any game time this season. So he's left for 325k. For 2.3 million to Al Shabab, Romulo Cardozo has left. Again, wasn't getting any game time for us this season, but as well cashing in. Alan Sadiva's left for 4 million, rising to 4.9 to Cadiz. Decent enough centre back, but he's 32 and we do have other options there. Simacek has gone away on loan to Cesena. Again, a decent enough centre-back, but not one of our first choices and was wanting to leave. Jose Ricardo's away out on loan, so is Bruno Henrique. They're just kind of youth players, so give them some game time. Kike Silva's left for Tijuana for 3.2 million. We did sign him on a free at the beginning of the season, but he was unhappy because I couldn't give him as much game time as he wanted. He is a good player, but again, we've made a bit of a profit on him. For someone that we're not playing, can't really complain too much about that. So in terms of the ins, there's not too many. You can see Silva who came in there. So Magro comes in on a free transfer from Porto, can play up front or attack in midfield. I think he's better just behind the striker. He started fairly well for us as well. Comes in as a squad player, so won't expect too much game time, but pretty good physically. Mentally, he's got good anticipation and really good vision, good off the ball, good first touch, and good technique, and good dribbling as well. So quite happy with him coming in on a free transfer. Will provide a little bit more depth. We've also brought in Rainier on a free transfer. He's formerly of the Real Madrid. He's been playing a couple of seasons, I think, in Brazil, but comes in, he is getting on a little bit, but he'll provide cover in sort of attacking midfield, centre midfield, and he can also play that right midfield role if we need him to. He's got good attributes for the defensive winger side of things, good mental attributes that should help him there. He is declining a little, but I think he's good enough for what we need him for this season, and we'll see if we need to use him going forward as well. Last in the door is Nicolas Antonelli, comes in from Defensa Justicia for 7.25 million. He will probably be one of our starting centre-backs from now on. He's got good potential ability. Comes in as a squad player, so not too much pressure to play him, although we have been. Does have good physical attributes, room to grow there of course. Decent mental attributes, like to see them getting a little bit better for us. Good positioning though, good tackling, and really good heading and marking as well. So he comes in as a good signing and will provide plenty of competition at centre-back. So in terms of the schedule, we've been in pretty decent form. We started the season very strongly. As you can see, we've got through the Copa Libertadores and the Brazilian Cup. So the Copa Libertadores, we got through the second round. We've had a few draws kind of dotted in. The form recently has not been quite as strong, but I don't know if that's down to the dynamics with the transfer window and so on. The Brazilian Cup, we've got that coming up against Sep in the final. We've got 2 legs to play for that, but we've got the second leg of the Copa Libertadores coming up next. So in the second leg at home here, and it's the 18th minute, with Igor coming down the right, swings it in and it's tapped in by Perales to give us a 1-0 lead on the day. So that's 3-1 on aggregate. Perales then swings in a corner, and Rodriguez hits an absolute screamer in the 27th minute. 2-0 it finishes, and it's 4-1 in aggregate. So a quick update on the Brazilian Cup. The first leg finished 2 each. We were 2-0 up, but we threw away a 2-goal lead, giving away a penalty in the 63rd minute, and then Sep equalised in the 93rd minute. So 2-2 in the first leg. And in the second leg, we drew 1 each. We actually went 1-0 down, and we pulled it back in the 23rd minute, and the game finished 1-1. It went to penalties, and we managed to win the tie 7-6 with Mendes bagging the winner. So form-wise, that brings us on to the semi-final quite nicely against Talleres de Cordoba. So we took the lead actually in the first minute here with Perales scoring, but we gave away a corner in the 4th minute, and Vinitsky managed to pull level. In the 21st minute, Filijao has managed to put us 2-1 up. Then we steal the ball in the 37th minute. It's played through to Perales, who scores with a cheeky dink from outside the box. 3-1 up, and that's how it ended. And on to the second leg at home in the 5th minute. Swung a free kick over, and Gonzalez gave us a 1-0 lead. Puts us 4-1 up. Bello then swung the ball in, dropped out to Mendes to Rodriguez, who scores a screamer into the top corner, putting us 2-0 up on the day. And in the 81st minute, Enriquez, a little bit lack of concentration, gave a goal back to Duzan. But it finished 2-1, which sees us go through 5-2 in aggregate to the final. So I'd say quite unexpectedly this season we've made it through to the Copa Libertadores final. By no means do I think we've got the strongest side, but we've maybe got the better tactic. But in the final, we'll play Flamengo, who managed to beat River Plate on penalties. So that'll be an interesting one for us. So we've got the Cup final coming up next against Flamengo. I just want to give you a wee recap of how the seasons went. So we finished off the season extremely strongly. The form that we're in just now, we've gone on a 7-game winning streak. conceding no more than 1 goal per game. And as we said there, we've got them up next, and we can have a wee look and see as well just how we've performed against them previously. But a couple of injury doubts for us with our goalkeeper and our left back, both injured at the moment. But in terms of previous fixtures against Flamengo, pretty even really between the two sides. But I would say since we've came in, these are kind of more recent fixtures and fixtures from this season. We've kind of had their number a little bit. They've not been scoring many goals against us. They haven't beaten us in the last 6 games. So in terms of competitions, the domestic season's finished. We've won the league by 12 points. Perales got top goal scorer despite not starting every game. Average rating wise, we're very strong. Feijão's got most assists and most man of the matches, with Gonçalves getting most clean sheets as well. Better overview here. Conceded only 24 goals this season and scored 92. And lost just the 2 games, both against Fluminense, which was disappointing. But win some to lose some, don't you? So again, we've got the final just coming up shortly. So here we are live for the Copa Libertadores final against Flamengo. Just having a look at the lineups. We are pretty much full strength. We have had to play Feijão despite him having an ankle knock, so we've had to give him an injection for the game. I think he's too big a player to miss out. So we've kicked off and we're looking pretty quiet in the first few minutes of the game here. It's the one shot on target so far, and that's from us. We do have an early highlight here on the 12th minute with the rain coming down. And we've got Feijão on the right to Enrique, out to Bello, whose shot just goes over the bar. But we're looking a little bit threatening, at least so far. 3 shots. Flamengo haven't really done much at the moment, other than boss possession, but we've got Bellows on the right, on the left, here. It's into Barros, plays it back. And it's swung out wide to Igor, cuts it back in, and Barros slots it home into the far corner. Keeper had no chance with that one from the looks of it. So Barros puts us 1-0 up. He was out for most of the season with quite a bad injury, so it's good to see him back. Enrique getting the assist, he's been extremely good for us, but we do have a booking now and a highlight in the 32nd minute. Looks like Flamengo coming forward. We've managed to cut them out. That's Enrique down the right. It's played through, and Perales probably should have done better with that one. A little bit more composure needed, I think. We're still 1-0 up, and Flamengo aren't really threatening despite having the majority of the possession of the game. Got a throw in with Igor here. Plays it in, and Feijão has hit the post. Could be down for a second, but we're coming into half time now. See if I want to make any changes, probably not. I'm going to tell them I'm actually a little bit disappointed with possession. Hopefully that'll help us retain the ball a little bit more in the second half. So we're underway. Not a lot happened in the first 5 minutes. Possession still looks to be pretty much in Flamengo's favour. We've got Rodriguez now down the left. We're playing it around a little bit, which is good to see. It's played through Enrique, out to Igor, who's hit the post as well. We've actually hit the woodwork 3 times now in this match. Looking at the stats, and now we've had an injury to Bello. This isn't the worst injury we could have had. He's not one of our key players, so we can bring on Caetano Mendes, who's played on the left wing the majority of the season anyway. Moving on, hopefully we can see this one out. Maybe even add a second to it, just to make it a little bit more comfortable coming into the latter stages of the game. I think we should maybe start thinking about making some substitutes shortly, just to kind of run the clock down and put some fresh legs on. So bring Feijão off. As we said at the start of the game, he is carrying a knock, so Ayrton comes on. And we'll bring on, I think, we'll leave the centre back. We'll bring Antonelli on, and we'll bring Manny on. Manny's been great again for us this season. So it looks like the clock's just getting played down for us just now. Coming into the final stages of the game. There's 6 minutes of injury time. I think what we might do is maybe make a late sub here. And we'll bring Eddie Nielsen. I'll bring Sedeno on. He's unfit because he's been injured for the last part of the season, but he's played a big role for us. And the final whistles went, and we've won the Copa Libertadores. So the South American part is now completed, and we've completed the challenge in full. It's been so much fun doing this challenge. We've got there probably quicker than I would have expected. I think the Cruz Azul part of it really helped us out. But really pleased that we've managed to do it. Really the first time of asking a game with Vasco da Gama. It's the first time we've been in the Copa Libertadores. But yeah, absolutely delighted. The boys deserve to lift that trophy. They've been phenomenal this season. Looking at the celebrations, the fireworks going off, and the Pentagon challenge has been completed. So there we have it, we've completed the challenge. What we'll do is we'll finish off the video just kind of giving a recap of how the players have performed this season for us. In terms of goals, Perales has 39 and 40 starts, which is a great goal return for him. And Cedeno had 26 and 29 starts. Fajal, 21. The goal contributions from some of these players, so Fajal, Henrique, Ayrton and Mendes had great goal contributions for us. In terms of the average ratings, Minai's actually got our highest average rating. He didn't play every game, but he's a bit of a cult hero for us. Pretty much useless at anything other than running. And as we said before, with Football Manager, it's having pace and stamina and acceleration is just such a big thing for this game. Other than that, pretty much everyone else has performed to a really high level for us this season. Probably shown by the performance and what we won. We won pretty much everything across the board in Brazil and won the Copa Libertadores. But we'll wrap up the video anyway there. Thanks very much again for watching. There'll be more content coming shortly. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share. Thank you.